In a world increasingly focused on external achievements and material success, Sadhguru's profound insights offer a refreshing perspective on what it truly means to live a fulfilling life. His teachings, often overlooked in mainstream discourse, provide a roadmap for inner transformation and conscious living. This article delves into Sadhguru's wisdom, exploring how his advice can revolutionize our approach to life and unlock our innate potential for joy, peace, and purpose. The illusion of external solutions. Sadhguru begins by addressing a prevalent issue in modern society: the reliance on external solutions for internal well-being. He points out the irony of our current situation, where we've come to depend on chemicals for basic emotional states like peace, joy, and ecstasy. This dependence, he argues, is a symptom of a deeper problem: our inability to manage our inner world effectively. The spiritual leader draws a parallel between this situation and the concept of heaven collapsing in people's minds. 50 years ago, he notes, the majority of people believed in the idea of heaven as a place of ultimate happiness. Today, especially among younger generations, this concept has largely disappeared. While Sadhguru sees this shift as potentially positive, encouraging people to seek fulfillment in the present rather than deferring it to an afterlife, he also recognizes the challenges it presents. With the loss of the heaven concept, there's an increased urgency to experience everything in the here and now. However, without the tools to manage their inner world, many people turn to external substances to create the states of joy and ecstasy they crave. This approach, Sadhguru warns, is fundamentally flawed and unsustainable. The human mechanism, a sophisticated chemical factory. One of Sadhguru's most compelling insights is his description of the human body as the most sophisticated chemical factory. He argues that with proper management, this internal factory can produce all the chemicals necessary for fantastic experiences. The problem, he suggests, is that most people are bad managers of their own systems. This perspective shifts the focus from external solutions to internal mastery. Sadhguru challenges the prevailing notion that happiness, peace, and fulfillment are things we need to seek outside ourselves. Instead, he proposes that these states are natural outcomes of a well-managed inner system. The power of consciousness. At the core of Sadhguru's teaching is the importance of consciousness. He describes the human predicament as an intelligence which needs to be conscious, but is, unfortunately, unconscious and compulsive. This unconscious state leads to compulsive reactions to life, rather than conscious responses. Sadhguru argues that this compulsive reactivity is at the root of much human suffering. When we allow external circumstances to dictate our internal states, we surrender control over our most fundamental experience of life. He likens this to a form of slavery, where others have the power to determine whether we're happy or unhappy. The solution, according to Sadhguru, lies in developing conscious control over our inner world. This doesn't mean suppressing emotions or denying experiences, but rather cultivating the ability to respond to life consciously rather than react compulsively. Tools for inner management. Just as we use tools to manipulate our external environment, Sadhguru emphasizes the importance of having tools to manage our inner world. He argues that the lack of these internal tools is why many people struggle with their emotions and mental states. Sadhguru's approach is practical rather than philosophical. He doesn't advocate for a particular belief system or promise miraculous transformations. Instead, he focuses on teaching simple, effective tools for self-management. These include techniques for how to sit, how to breathe, and how to manage one's energy and emotions. This toolbox approach to inner well-being is one of the most distinctive aspects of Sadhguru's teaching. It demystifies the process of personal growth, making it accessible to anyone willing to put in the effort to learn and apply these tools. The misplaced focus of modern education. Sadhguru critiques modern education and societal values for their emphasis on conquering the world, while neglecting to teach individuals how to take charge of their own inner lives. This imbalance, he argues, is at the root of many personal and societal problems. By focusing exclusively on external achievements and neglecting inner development, we create a society of individuals who are technologically empowered, but emotionally and spiritually impoverished. Sadhguru calls for a more balanced approach to education and personal development, one that equips people with the tools to manage both their external and internal worlds effectively. The nature of suffering. One of Sadhguru's most insightful observations relates to the nature of human suffering. He distinguishes between pain, which is a physical sensation necessary for self-preservation, and suffering, which is a mental multiplication of that pain. According to Sadhguru, most people suffer not from their actual experiences, but from their memories of past experiences and their imaginations of future possibilities. This ability to mentally revisit past pain and anticipate future discomfort is unique to humans, thanks to our vivid memory and imagination. While these faculties, memory and imagination, are incredible assets that have contributed to human progress, they also have the potential to cause immense suffering when not properly managed. Sadhguru's teachings aim to help individuals use these faculties constructively rather than allowing them to become sources of unnecessary suffering. The importance of self-observation. Sadhguru emphasizes the importance of keen self-observation. He uses the analogy of not brushing one's teeth to illustrate how people often lack awareness of their own state. Just as we might not notice our own bad breath while others can, we often fail to recognize our own emotional and mental states accurately. This lack of self-awareness, Sadhguru argues, is at the root of many interpersonal conflicts and personal struggles. By cultivating a practice of self-observation, we can become more attuned to our internal states and better equipped to manage them effectively. The paradox of modern comfort. Sadhguru points out a paradox in modern life. Despite being the most comfortable generation in human history, we struggle more than ever with issues of mental health and emotional well-being. The United States, he notes, serves as a stark example of this paradox. As the most affluent country on the planet, it still sees a majority of its population on prescription medication for various mental and emotional issues. This observation challenges the common assumption that external comfort and success naturally lead to inner well-being. Sadhguru's teachings suggest that without proper inner management, external comforts and achievements cannot provide lasting fulfillment or peace. The path forward. Conscious living. Sadhguru's advice for those seeking to change their lives is both simple and profound. He advocates for the use of specific tools and practices to cultivate conscious control over one's inner world. These tools, he argues, are as essential for our well-being as the technological tools we use to manipulate our external environment. The goal of these practices is not to achieve a particular state or experience, but to develop the ability to respond consciously to life rather than react compulsively. This shift from compulsive reaction to conscious response is at the heart of Sadhguru's teaching on personal transformation. Conclusion. A call to inner mastery. Sadhguru's life advice offers a powerful alternative to the prevailing focus on external solutions and achievements. By emphasizing the importance of inner management and conscious living, he provides a path to genuine fulfillment and well-being that doesn't depend on external circumstances. His teachings challenge us to take responsibility for our inner world, to develop the tools and practices necessary for emotional and mental well-being, and to cultivate a level of self-awareness that allows for conscious living. This approach promises not just personal transformation, but also the potential for positive societal change as more individuals learn to manage their inner worlds effectively. In a world that often seems chaotic and beyond our control, Sadhguru's wisdom reminds us that the most important domain we can master is our own inner landscape. By learning to manage our thoughts, emotions, and energies consciously, we can create a foundation of peace, joy, and purpose that remains stable regardless of external circumstances. Ultimately, Sadhguru's life advice is a call to reclaim our power over our own experience of life. It's an invitation to explore the vast potential within ourselves and to live from a place of conscious choice rather than compulsive reaction. For those willing to embark on this journey of inner exploration and mastery, Sadhguru's teachings offer a roadmap to a life of true fulfillment, purpose, and joy.